Hello everybody and welcome. I'm your host Captain Awesomeness, and today on the 3rd of February 2022 here in Ohio I have to deal with this. If those of you who are watching have never seen this stuff before, and maybe in movies, this is snow. And it's something I absolutely have a huge disdain for. But anyway, as it is the case that it's still snowing right now, I have to clear out all this snow before it becomes too overwhelming for my snowblower to work on. So this is going to be a monumental task for me, and I have to get going on this. Also guys, before you watch me try to struggle with this, do me a favor, please hit thumbs up, please subscribe, and please hit the notification bell icon so that you're made aware of whenever I upload my next video. All right, so real quick, why am I doing this in the middle of a snowstorm? Well, the thing is that if it gets too high, like I said, it overwhelms the snowblower. Not to mention that right before it snowed, there was a lot of freezing rain that is sitting under the snow, and that can cause an issue for me. So it's best for me to take care of it now, and then if it does pile up again, all I have to do is just run that snowblower through, and it'll be much easier the second time around with a layer that's not as thick as what we've got going on. Expected snowfall was about a foot. We are looking at almost that, maybe a little bit more. But right now that's what we're going to do. And once we're done with this, I also want to do a video on KartKraft for you all to see. So stay tuned for this part of the video getting sped up, but then the other stuff in normal mode. All right, let's get going. Okay, with that out of the way, I gotta tell you, that was pretty tiring. 2.5 hours of having to clear out the snow from my driveway as well as my parents' driveway, which, depending on how you look at it, was a bad idea or a good idea. So bad idea because of the fact that there's still a lot more snow that's gonna come and hit us over the next several hours. Good idea in the sense that I kind of halved my work. I got done with all of that snow blowing, which actually was a pretty good portion of it now, instead of, you know, having to do it all later. So it's one way or the other, I would have had to have done this. It's just that it made my life a little bit easier to do it in 2 parts. So what happens is when there's too much snow, it just becomes a problem. It's a headache. You don't want to deal with it. At least that's my take on it. So I would rather do it twice, but do it right. So that's what really it was. Anyway, with that out of the way, I'm pretty tired, but that doesn't mean I don't have energy in me to go ahead and do a couple of sessions on KartKraft. So I'm either going to look for an online game, or I'm just going to do a timed run against, you know, the fastest person to get on the leaderboard, that kind of stuff. Yeah, let's get all that figured out. All right, guys, so we are ready to race today. I am pretty excited. I am definitely physically tired, but I'm still excited mentally, so I'm going to do whatever I can to get a good session out of our little deal here today. So one thing I'm going to do, let me actually switch screens so you guys can see the game. Here we are. I'm going to hit retire, actually. I was in the middle of trying out a different view, as you can probably tell. But anyway, we are going to be at Geel. Geel is, I suppose, a track in Australia. And right now, I've only been on it a couple of times, so not much more to say other than that. So let me get the race started, and I will see you at the track. All right. Here we are. Now this is also a very technical track. It's got a lot more turns than Brentomont, and is definitely not a very fast track, as you'll be able to tell here. So I'm still trying to figure out how best to navigate through most of the track here, but as is the case with any new place, it takes a while to get used to it. One quirk of KartKraft, as I am talking about this, is that I am dealing with a situation where the Nemesis actually stays frozen on the track, and you'll see that as I come around back to the start-finish line. So coming through these turns, man, I gotta tell you, I'm still trying to figure out the best way to help the rear end kick out, but at the same time maintain traction through this whole track, actually. So yeah, I think a little bit of chassis tuning and all that will come. See, there's that guy just kind of frozen there, even though KartKraft is telling me that they are racing with me, but I see no Ghost racing us. Oh, whoa. I barely invalidated the lap there. Oof. So we're definitely struggling, but it'll, like I said, take some time to kind of get used to a very different layout. We're 1.3 seconds behind them and really our own best that we've done here. So I am definitely, oh boy, invalidated our lap, of course. This is not the same as I have driven before through here. I thought I had all the kinks at least kind of ironed out when it comes to being able to control the kart going through these turns, but as is the case, evidently, I still have a lot more to go. Not to mention, I mean, I only raced here twice, so can't really expect me to be perfect, but we'll get there. We'll get there together. Still frozen where he's always frozen, so... Oh, boy, oh, boy. Respawn. So, let me get back to you guys in just a second. Alright, so... let's not do that again. So, going through here full throttle really does not look natural. Somehow we're gonna win this. Maybe. Yes. So, whew, I had to go quiet for a second because I was concentrating so much. Wow. I mean, it wasn't much of a difference that I made, but I went up slightly. About 100 some positions. No, less than 100 positions, and then we went up 6 spots in the U.S. So not so bad. I'm gonna try one more round. Of maybe about 2 laps, and then we'll just call it quits from there and just kind of talk about our day. So here we go again. Let's see if we can do it. Let's make this happen. Let's rock this joint. I definitely think I have to play a little bit with the throttle, not as much as the brakes. Although coming through here, you just got to come off the throttle and then get back on it to help the rear end kind of kick out just right, and yeah, help us make that turn happen. Ooh, a little bit of drifto going on, especially through here. But we'll catch up with them, I think, in the second time around I come through here. We're definitely not taking the apexes the way I feel we should be taking. And I'm saying that just on account of seeing all those, I don't know, marks on the curbs that take you through those sections there. I don't know if that's how I'm supposed to take those curbs, kind of go over them. But every time I go over a curb, yeah, it doesn't work out too well for us. Alright, let's use all of that area. Oh boy, we're half a second behind already. And that's just because we're trying to play Tokyo Drift through here instead of spending more of that energy going faster. Oh. Alright, one more lap. There we are. And we've lost all the time through here. So definitely a lot to iron out, it looks like. But yeah, I'm liking this one too. It's a pretty neat track as we lose speed going through where we shouldn't have. So let's just end this right there and return back to our normal screen. So not a whole lot more to talk about today other than, hey, I had a great snow day, I think, in the sense that I had to get rid of all of that snow, and I'm not a fan of snow. If anybody says that I said otherwise, they are crazy. And man, I got to tell you, Ohio, by the way, for all those who are not from here and not from the U.S., some people consider it a backward state. I do not. It's definitely got its pros and cons. Every place does. There's no such thing as a perfect place. What I like about here is that I suppose the cost of living is pretty cool. I don't have to worry about inflated costs, even though, yes, inflation is a problem throughout the United States, but it's not crazy here like it is over in New York, Boston, Chicago, LA, all that stuff. So that's the good part about it. The other good part about it is that there is a small town feel with being in this area. So even though it's not a small town per se, but relatively speaking, it is small. So people are a little bit nicer. People are a little bit more courteous. They're a bit more civilized. So I like that aspect of being over here in Cleveland. And of course, the con is the fact that, yeah, I don't like the cold at all. If I could find a way to see myself away from Ohio for the entirety of the cold season, starting in November and ending somewhere around the end of May, that whole 6-month time frame, I would be somewhere else. So that's something actually I am working on, and I can only say that much about it right now. Anyway, yeah, not much exciting stuff to actually show you guys today, other than, of course, a little bit of an accomplishment I made at that new Geel circuit that I have been slowly but surely kind of working on. And the reason really I haven't been trying out many of the other tracks was because I had this idea that I should try to make myself really good at one track and then go to the next and to the next. But I also think that maybe it's time for me to kind of showcase the game as well, because I really want you guys to buy this game and hop on the session with me or whatever. So that is all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next Apex. Bye-bye.